This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Ukmade, and this is Africa Now. Classrooms in Maradi, southern Niger, made out of straw and wood, were engulfed in a blaze on Monday, killing at least 26 school children, injuring 13 others aged between 5 and 6, says the local governor. Niger has tried to fix shortages of school buildings by constructing thousands of straw and wood sheds to serve as classrooms, with children sometimes sitting on the ground. Fires in the highly inflammable classrooms are common, but rarely result in casualties. Isufu Arzika, the Secretary General of Niger's Teachers Union, says it is better to hold classes under trees than in straw huts, which have become flammable graves for pupils. The death toll from Sierra Leone's fuel tanker explosion has risen to 115, a health ministry spokesperson disclosed on Monday. The bodies of the victims were buried in a mass ceremony on Monday in Waterloo. Previously, the ministry says 99 people were killed, with hundreds more injured in the blast when the tanker exploded following a collision in the suburb of Freetown on Friday. The victims included people who had gathered to collect fuel leaking from the ruptured vehicle. The African Union and the United States Special Envoy for the Horn of Africa say they see a small window of opportunity to end fighting in Ethiopia, as the United Nations warned that the risk of Ethiopia spiraling into a widening civil war is only too real. The AU Envoy for the Horn of Africa, former Nigeria President Olusegun Obasanjo, and UN Political Affairs Chief Maradi both briefed the UN Security Council after the African Union earlier on Monday held a closed-door meeting to discuss the crisis. Speaking from Ethiopia, Obasanjo says that by the end of the week, they hope to have a program in hand that will indicate how they can achieve humanitarian access and a withdrawal of troops that satisfies all the parties. Ivory Coast Prime Minister says it will provide alternatives to violent extremism in its northern region by accelerating investment in schools, hospitals and jobs. Northern Ivory Coast is far from commercial centers and borders Mali and Burkina Faso, which Islamic groups are active and have increasingly crossed the border to wage attacks. Recruitment of local youth is a growing concern. Prime Minister Patrick Achi told journalists, adding that the state will beef up border security along with its Western partners. Malawian President Lazarus Chakwera has asked each citizen to take responsibility for the country's development rather than always demanding it from the politicians. He says that he had hundreds of messages on his phone from people asking him to run their families for them just because he is president, adding that members of parliament had similar messages from their constituents. The Malawian president asked citizens to implement plans at household level that were in line with the National Development Plan, which he was launching. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching Africa Now. Business and more coming your way after the break. So stay tuned. Welcome back. In business, in new measures to reduce non-performing loans, Tanzania's central bank says it will target individuals and government officials. The Bank of Tanzania has been taking measures to stabilize the banking industry, including merging small banks with inadequate capital. According to the Ministry of Finance, non-performing loans in Tanzania stood at 9.36% of total loans in March, nearly twice the recommended threshold of 5%. The proportion of bad loans stood at 10.50% in March of 2020. Morocco's energy minister says the government is preparing port infrastructure for import of liquefied natural gas to boost reserves after Algeria ended gas supplies through a pipeline on October 31. The infrastructure, Leila Ben Ali told members of parliament, will help lower the cost of LNG imports for private operators. Morocco's local gas production is expected to reach 110 million cubic meters in 2021, while its annual consumption stands at a billion cubic meters. Most of it was once supplied by the halted pipeline. Now, Ghana's Deputy Energy Minister on Tuesday says he recognizes the need for an energy transition, but still strongly believes that gas will be an important source of energy going forward. Ghana discovered oil in 2007 and began production at the end of 2010, boosting economic growth to around 14% the following year and raising hopes of a bonanza. Ghana was aiming for 100% energy access by 2024 and is working on a nuclear facility, the Deputy Minister adds. Now, moving away from business, On Monday, Tunisian police fired tear gas at protesters who refused an authority's decision to reopen a controlled landfill in the southern town of Aghareb. The closing of a controlled landfill this year in Aghareb caused thousands of tons of household waste to accumulate for about a month in the streets, markets, and even hospitals of Sfax, the second largest Tunisian city. The Aghareb landfill, 20 kilometers from Sfax, was closed this year after residents complained, saying that diseases have spread and that they are suffering an environmental disaster. The Labour Court on Monday halted a decision by the Kenyan Medical Supplies Authority Board to lay off over 900 staff and enlist the National Youth Service and Kenya Defence Forces to oversee operations of the agency. Justice Kabira Ocharo says the order will remain in force pending hearing and determination of an application filed by the Kenyan Medical Practitioners and Pharmacists and Dentists Union. Hearing was fixed for November 16. The medics want the court to find the decision of the KEMSA board to enlist the services of Kenya Defence Forces, officers, and the National Youth Service illegal. And that is it on Africa Now. For more updates, to visit our website at www.TOS TVNetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube to stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Okwade. Thanks for watching.